Hi guys, today's video is another that requires a viewer discretion disclaimer. This case contains some pretty disturbing graphic content, so please heed this warning. The following video contains material that may be harmful or disturbing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Now let's get into it. In August 2009, VH1 aired one of the shortest running reality shows in TV history. The series, titled Megan Wants a Millionaire, featured a blonde swimsuit model named Megan Hauserman in her search for true love, or at the very least, one of 17 contestants who could make her a trophy wife. Megan was a reality show veteran, having appeared on a host of others before the 2009 VH1 series would change her life in ways she could not have anticipated. The show hoped to capture the magic that made The Bachelor a huge success, but it didn't play out that way. While 6 episodes were filmed, only 3 made it to air. The show suffered from poor ratings, but that wasn't the reason for Megan's short run. Following the 3rd episode, titled Billion Dollar Doggy, the network canceled the series when one of its contestants, Ryan Alexander Jenkins, was accused of murdering his bride of less than a year. Ryan Jenkins was born in Victoria, Canada on February 8, 1977. He was 32 years old when he became a contestant on Megan Wants a Millionaire. Contestants were required to be, quote, single men of the highest pedigree with a net worth of at least $1 million. Jenkins was discovered in Las Vegas at a casting party hosted by the show. Then, following what was supposed to be a diligent vetting by a Canadian company, the smooth-talking Jenkins was invited to be part of the cast. Although several sources cite his occupation as a real estate executive, his cast bio for Megan Wants a Millionaire states he was an investment banker from Calgary. Jenkins had also appeared in the 3rd season of another VH1 series, I Want Money. According to sources associated with the Megan production, Jenkins was a charismatic guy who described himself as part Prince Charming with a bad boy edge. Producer Mark Cronin, whose company 51 Minds Entertainment created both shows in which Jenkins appeared, described him as a jealous, obsessive guy determined to score a trophy wife. In a 2020 article by Entertainment Weekly's Kristen Baldwin, Jenkins believed he had the Megan win in the bag, and he had reason to believe so. Unbeknownst to the other cast members or the production team, Megan had been attracted to Ryan Jenkins from the very beginning. She confessed to having late-night phone calls with her resolute suitor, in which she promised that she was choosing him to be the show's ultimate victor. Jenkins made it all the way to the finale. He was shocked and furious, however, when he was sent home. The producers of the show, upon learning of Megan's choice, had nixed the idea of Jenkins being the winner of the former Playboy model's hand. They told her the fans didn't care for him, and that he was rude in interviews. Further, they thought he was a phony. Megan herself confessed to seeing a few red flags, noting that he flaunted fake Rolex watches and boasted a paltry wardrobe. The producers deemed him all hat, no cattle, and his name was stricken as a contender. In her interview with Entertainment Weekly, Hauserman explained that she was also upset by the producers' decision and planned to phone Jenkins after the show wrapped. But Jenkins beat her to it when he called her with his own big news. Upon leaving the show, he headed to Las Vegas and married his soulmate after 2 dates. Enter Jasmine Fiore, another stunning blonde Playboy model who would indirectly turn Megan Hauserman's life upside down, and in the process forever change the casting and vetting protocol for reality TV. Cut to Los Angeles, California, August 2009. Megan Hauserman was staying with a friend who breathlessly announced that Ryan Jenkins was a suspect in the murder of his new wife. Megan was shocked. Her Ryan could not have killed anyone. Little did she know that despite the alleged background check and vetting, her almost Prince Charming had a rap sheet. Ryan Jenkins had not disclosed his record to the Megan show producers, and because he was a Canadian resident, the U.S. company who regularly handled background checks for 51 Minds had contracted out the Jenkins vetting. So none were aware that he had been arrested years before in Canada for assaulting a former girlfriend. His new wife Jasmine learned of his jealousy and temper just months into their marriage, which took place at the Little White Wedding Chapel on the Vegas Strip. They met at a casino shortly after he completed filming the Megan series and wed on March 18, 2009. Jasmine Lepore was born February 18, 1981. Her parents divorced when she was 8 years old, and she grew up in Bonnie Doon, California, in a home she shared with Mom Lisa. She enjoyed a pretty typical adolescence, which included sports, friends, and a job in a grocery store. Eventually, Jasmine began working as a swimsuit model under the name Jasmine Fiore. She enhanced her natural beauty with a few trips to the plastic surgeon's office, scoring more exotic-looking facial features as well as breast implants. Her modeling work was steady, and her stunning good looks ultimately led to an appearance in Playboy. She also appeared in commercials for adult phone chat lines. In fact, according to TMZ, the company behind the TV spots continues to run them as of March 2022. Court records reveal that Jenkins was charged with domestic violence in Nevada in June 2009, following an argument that resulted in his striking Jasmine in the arm, causing her to fall into a swimming pool. According to Jasmine's mother, the pair fought frequently over Jasmine's friendships with her exes. Lisa also stated that her daughter, then 28, had the marriage to Jenkins annulled a month before the domestic battery charge. But no court records supporting this allegation were found in either Nevada or California counties. So, what did Ryan Jenkins have that would make Jasmine Fiore hastily marry him? She was likely taken in by his infamous charm and swagger. He had the right persona and looks for TV, so that, coupled with his millionaire status, would be enticing to many women. For her part, though, Jasmine, usually blonde but sometimes a brunette, had the head-turning looks to be the trophy wife Jenkins coveted. He was surely impressed by her modeling portfolio. She showed off her figure in sexy bikinis and appeared as, quote, painted body art at private parties. But he was insanely jealous of the attention she received from other men, especially those she had dated. According to her friend Marta Montoya, Jasmine had on-again, off-again relationships with Robert Hasman, with whom she had considered settling down. There was also Travis Heinrich, to whom she had been briefly engaged a few years prior. It was normal for her to maintain friendships with former boyfriends, which infuriated husband Jenkins. From the start, he was jealous and possessive, phoning her constantly from the I Want Money set and promising to win the $250,000 prize so they could begin their new life together. But Jasmine had her own goals. In addition to her modeling career, she also had plans to earn a real estate license and open a personal training business. Still, something persuaded her to make the fateful decision to reconcile with Jenkins following their May 2009 annulment. On August 13, 2009, Jasmine and Ryan checked into the L'Auberge Hotel in Del Mar, San Diego. They were in town to attend a poker tournament fundraiser held at the Del Mar Hilton. They were captured by security cameras leaving the Hilton around 2:30 a.m. on the morning of August 14th. The pair were later spotted at the Ivy Hotel, a downtown nightclub. Around 4:30 that morning, Jenkins left the club and returned to the L'Auberge alone. The following day, around 7 a.m., the nude body of a woman was discovered in a dumpster in an alley in Buena Park, California. The body had suffered immense trauma, having been severely beaten and forced into a suitcase. Investigators on the scene were shocked to find that the fingers and teeth had all been removed in an attempt to impede identification. She appeared to have been strangled as well. Ryan Jenkins reported his wife missing on the evening of August 15th. He claimed they attended a poker tournament in San Diego, then returned to their Los Angeles home on Edinburgh Avenue. He told police that Jasmine dropped him off at home, then ran out to run errands. She never returned. 2 days later, investigators again contacted Jenkins, who said he was in Utah, headed to take care of an immigration issue in Canada. Meantime, in a strange twist of events, the body in the dumpster was ultimately identified on August 18th by a serial number located on a breast implant. Jasmine Fiore was no longer missing. Soon after the announcement by the medical examiner, Ryan Jenkins' father informed him by phone that Jasmine had been murdered. By this point, Jenkins was only a person of interest in the homicide, but the media ran with the salacious story, resulting in a torrent of witness sightings being reported to authorities in both the U.S. and Canada, who were on high alert. On August 19th, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police became involved when a man resembling Ryan Jenkins was seen piloting a boat in Point Roberts, where Jenkins' stepmother lived. Around 6 p.m. the following day, Jenkins and an attractive young woman later identified as his half-sister Elena checked into a motel in Hope, British Columbia. Kevin Walker, the front desk attendant who signed them in, later said the customer did not look like the man he'd seen on TV. He was thinner and not buff. He looked unhealthy. He recounted that the woman with Jenkins casually chatted and paid cash for 3 days' accommodations. She left soon after and didn't return at checkout. On the morning of the 23rd, the motel manager and his nephew used a pass key to enter the reserved room and found Ryan Jenkins dead. His body was hanging from a clothes rack by a belt. No suicide note was located in the room, but a last will and testament detailing his anger and jealousy was found on his laptop. It was dated August 20th, 2009. Jenkins' father, Dan, explained that his son had, quote, become corrupted by the Hollywood lifestyle. He added that Ryan would faint at the sight of blood and was incapable of committing the violence he was accused of. If my son was guilty, he was crazy. He was not the boy we knew. During the manhunt for Jasmine's killer, her white Mercedes was discovered near a Trader Joe's in West Hollywood, about a mile from the home where she lived with Jenkins. Blood spatter inside the car indicated a brutal struggle, including a broken nose sustained by the victim. However, the body's dismemberment was determined to have occurred elsewhere. According to prosecutors, Fiore's teeth and fingers have not been found. Sergeant Robert Powell confirmed, however, that tooth fragments were discovered inside the suitcase, but not in the Mercedes. Reports also allege that Jenkins had help in disposing of his wife's body, but no charges have been filed. While friends and family continue to mourn the loss of Jasmine Fiore, it's clear that this horrific case has impacted many, including Megan Hauserman. I have seen contradictory information regarding her marital status, but recent updates reveal that she lives in Boca Raton, Florida, with her 8-year-old son and his father, Darren Garber. Out of respect for Jasmine's loved ones, VH1 canceled Megan Wants a Millionaire once Ryan Jenkins was alleged to have been involved in the murder. They deleted the show's page from the internet and ceased showing reruns of the series. In July 2011, Collective Intelligence, the U.S. company hired by VH1 to screen contestants for Megan Wants a Millionaire, successfully sued Straight Line International, the company they contracted to vet Canadian contestant Ryan Jenkins. One day after Jenkins' suicide, VH1 announced that it would not air the third season of I Want Money, which Ryan Jenkins won.